next step. Boom. Take a guess, take a guess. Catch can setup. I have the fittings on the valve covers, but I don't have any lines. I've had everything in place except for the lines. Real easy. Just measure up how long it's going to take. I'm going to route them both to the back. They'll come together, come over to the side, meet up to the catch can, and that's it. Let me knock that out. Alright, finish the catch can, and I don't like it. They're routed correctly, except with the angle of the catch can and the way the hoses go in, they line up stupid right there. Stupid. I gotta figure out something else. And I cross-threaded one of the straight 10s, so I'm gonna have to order a new one, replace that, but that'll do for now. So I just got my flex fuel settings in. About to go to the gas station, pump in E85 for the first time, and see what happens. Alright, just pumped in 9 gallons, which is majority of the tank. So let's see what we get on the flex fuel content. So if we come in here, so flex content, you can see it climbing. Looks like I'm probably going to be, I guess, right at 50. It's a good start. So we made it home in one piece. Air fuels are exactly where they need to be. AEM worked flawlessly. Plug in your numbers on the pump fuel, and then when you go to flex fuel, it automatically does the ratio between pump and E85, which I only have E45. So it's only gonna get even better. Looking forward to that. Well, a fellow Cressida owner that happened to be local to me hit me up on Instagram. He was like, hey, I'm parting out my car, I got some parts. He was just kind of cold calling me, and I just happened to want some things. Like I need a new sun visor. Mine's broken on one side. What else did I want? Oh, and then he had coilovers. I wasn't looking to buy coilovers yet, but if somebody has them and they're an alright deal, why not get them? So I don't know. The price he gave me, I wasn't too excited about, but I'm gonna hopefully get him to knock down a little bit on it. So meet up with him now and see what kind of deal I can get. Made it back to the lair. Got some goodies. Let's see, I got some door seals, headlights. Needed a new driver sun visor. Got a grill. And in the trunk, hold up. Drum roll. Nailed it. All right, now that I got the coils, time to install them. Let's see if I can get a video showing. Hold up, let me see if I can set this up. See if we can get a before and after of how this thing likes to squat. Hold up. Okay, all right. It's the front, pretty bad. See if we can get the rear. Yeah. So I got the coils. I just closed the trunk. Hold on. Smooth move. So I got the coils. They're used. I paid pretty much what I wanted for used coils, and they're already welded, which makes a big difference. I don't have downtime on the car. So, and they come with these extended ARP lugs with the studs, which is pretty nice. So let me pull them out, give them a quick little clean, and then we'll go ahead and get started on installing them. Sweet. All right, so I got them cleaned up, got them sitting where on their appropriate corners. The rears don't matter. The fronts are left and right. So one thing though is I'm gonna call BC, which I saw a video. You see this spring, the preload is gone. The spring is loose. pretty sure I saw a video that said you tighten up this top one as tight as you can with your hand until you can't spin the spring anymore. So you tighten this one up until you can't spin the spring by hand, and then from there you put the bottom one to match it, and then from there you tighten the top one till it goes up 4 millimeters, which is the same thickness as the wrenches that they give you. That's the video I saw, but I'm gonna call them, confirm it before I put these on so I know they're adjusted right. All right, step one, you got to be like me, or don't be like me. Loosen your lug nuts before you raise the car and have the tire off the ground, and then you have to lower it back down, loosen them, and jack it back up. Step number one, loosen lug nuts. Raise it up, put on jack stands on all 4 corners, then take off the wheels. Boom, jacked up, wheels off, kind of slide them in a little bit. You know, God forbid something happens to your jack stands, you have the wheel sitting under there so the car doesn't fall completely to the floor, and if you're laying under it, maybe it'll save your life. I don't know. So, once you're done taking off the wheels, you come over here, let your suspension, you give it a wiggle, and you cry because it's not tight. That's what happens there. So, next step, start disassembling. Let's start with the front. Let's do that. So the front is 2 bolts on the bottom and 3 on the top. Next thing that's gonna happen is you're gonna find the bolts for the bottom of the front suspension. You're gonna try to take them off with the breaker bar. It's not gonna work. You're gonna sit here, curse and cuss, and forget it. Pull out your compressor, get your hose, get your gun, your socket. This should be an impact extension. I don't have one. I'm gonna use what I have, and hopefully it'll knock it out quickly. All right, you gotta go ahead and take off the whole brake caliper, not just the caliper, but the whole mount. It's easier to take off the 2 lower mounts and take off the whole thing as one unit. Then you're gonna see this brake line is through this little tab. The thing about the tab is there's no way to get this line out of it unless you completely disassemble it. So you gotta cut a slit in it to slide it out. All right, I went ahead, I cut a slit in it. You can bend that metal, one little slit, you can bend this out of the way. And then get the brake line out. All right, so we got stock one out, new one here, but we need to set the preload on it. I have my assistant here, crew chief. Onto the driver's side. If you get tired, just have your assistant do all the work for you. All right, so for the back, you gotta take off the back seat. Then there's gonna be the rear speaker deck. So mine had a little cover on top of the original bolts. I mean, that was sitting flush on it, kinda close to that. So I had little bolts on here, you take the cover off. Then under the cover is actual bolts for the rear suspension. Take off those 3, then it's 1 on the bottom. I'll show you in 1 second. Let me take these off. Another thing to pay attention to while you're doing this, it's something I did in my Lexus, I'll show you. So the top of the BC Coilovers has an adjuster screw on the top of the coilover that'll come up right up here. But when you have the seats in, you can't access it unless you want to take the seats off every time you want to adjust them. So what they make is they make an extender for the adjuster. And you can take the extender, and what I'll do is, actually on this one it's pretty easy. I can route it right in between the back seat and the housing, and it sits right up here, and whenever you want to adjust it, you can just turn the knob. Like I said, I'll show you my Lexus in 1 second, and then I'll show you how we get the bottom of the suspension. So here in the Lexus, I have the same BC Coilovers. Like I was saying, I have, see this knob right here? Mine's just sitting there in between them. You can take it and turn it, make it softer or harder in the rear, which is really convenient versus having to take off the whole back seat and do that. That's a pain in the ass. So that sits there. Actually, that one, did I drill? Yeah, that one actually I drilled through the cover, so it sits there in place. So you can drill or try to get it to fit in between. Either way. All right, then for the rear, we kind of already got it out. But the rear has 1 bolt coming in right here. Take that out, it's a nut and a bolt, and the whole thing comes out. Boom, tighten up the top. Pretty straightforward reverse order. Like I said, here's the 1 bolt that goes right through the bottom. All right, got the rears installed. Next step is to preload the rear and then go for ride height. Boom, finished installing coils all the way around. So the next step is putting the wheels on and checking ride heights. You're good. You gotta go down on the handle all the way. You have to put the handle all the way down. That's all the way down? Are you sure? Okay.
The block.
So I don't usually do much vlogging, but kind of up here at Pikes Peak, driving up to the top. I think this is the infamous curb. This is it right here where Ken Block went through. Right there. That's the infamous corner, Ken Block. Pretty sweet. We can't drive all the way up. You have to stop right before the top. There's not enough parking, so you stop. You get a shuttle. But we made it up here. So we made it up to the summit of Pikes Peak. Going back down. Eric's stuffing his face with what? Strawberry?
Straight up a block of sugar.
Block of sugar. So it's pretty badass to come to a motorsports icon mountain. So now we're just gonna make our way down. So that turn over there is the Ken Block turn. Beautiful views. If anyone can make it to Colorado and come to Denver, definitely come up Pikes Peak. Just be prepared for that altitude sickness when you get to the top. A lot of hairpin turns. But great views. Oh yeah, gotta bring the Cressida here sometime. When I do that cross-country road trip, hopefully. Would you look at it? Would you just look at it? And the view's great without this damn van in front of us. Yeah, that's something I don't want to do.
Make it up to Pikes Peak, just drive.
Yeah, don't try doing the hand bicycle or a normal bicycle or a motorized bicycle. Don't do anything with an icicle. You just get in your carsicle. Remember, don't even try that. That's, I don't even know what that is. Pedaling with his arms. That's noted. Welcome. Oh, dirty lens. Welcome back to the garage. Back from vacation. Went over to Denver. That was badass. Went to Pikes Peak. That was badass. The car scene out there wasn't too great, but whatever, I'm back. Now I gotta get this going. The guys wanna go out cruising tonight. So remember, I said I need to replace this brake caliper. I got some stuff in the mail. Let me see what we got. And I'm not trying to put my everything. Oh, this one's probably calipers. This is probably hood struts. But it's funny, last time I got this box and it was completely empty. I got a box, but nothing in it. So I emailed Rock Auto and they went ahead and shipped new ones out. Didn't ask any questions, so they took care of me with that. But let me open these up real quick. And it looks just as I suspected. 2 calipers, 2 hood struts. Let's see, they always send you some magnet. Don't need that. So 2 hood struts, perfect. Need those, and that's all that was in that box. All right, I don't need anything else. Give me that. That's garbage. Let's open these up. Boom, just what I needed. So the driver one is just the caliper, that's all I needed. And the passenger side is actually, like, it's called a loaded caliper. It has brake pads and it has the mount on it. But the thing is, they bored out the bolts on mine, so I'm gonna have to figure out what fits on the driver's side, go to the store, buy the closest matching ones for the passenger side. But let me jack it up, get going, so I can get this figured out. And I also want to try turning up the boost here soon too. A couple other things I got in the mail is I got some 5mm wheel spacers. Since I lowered the car, I think it gave it some more negative camber without having the alignment done, and it's hitting the coilover right now, which kind of sucks. So I can just put the spacers on, that'll correct that real quick. And when I get it aligned, I can take them off. Also, I got some extenders for the rear adjusters. Let me show you that. Boom. I know I mentioned these earlier. I have them on the Lexus. So they poke out of the back, like, speaker panel, the rear panel up here, and it's easy to adjust. You don't have to take apart the whole back seat to get it. So got that. I just ran to the store. I just bought some bolts that I left in the car. I gotta go grab them, and then I can go ahead and start finishing replacing calipers. I already got the driver's side one on. There's like a bloodbath over here, brake fluid. Put a new one on this side. I had to change the driver's side because the bleeder broke on the OEM one, and it kind of worked out that I needed to order a new one for the passenger side. 2 birds with 1 stone, drilled out and broken bleeder. But now I'm gonna replace that, reset. My buddy John's coming over with Ruby, help me bleed the brakes, and we'll be able to continue on. Well, John got rid of his sweet truck, and I guess he got this. Beautiful. What is this though? It's terrible. What does it come with? Oh, fancy.
Come on there.
And that's it. Finished up. John just left, gave me a hand. So I took him for a spin. He enjoyed it. It's kind of weird. I took the car out and it felt slow to me, but that's it. Suspension's on. Got the wheel spacers on. See those in there? They're not hitting the inside of the coilover anymore. 5mm. That's all I needed. Last thing I have to do is put the whatchamacallit in the back here, and I'll be set. So go out with the boys and see what kind of fun we can get into. Yeah, I was gonna finish up, but I ended up installing the extenders for the rear. Whatchamacallit? Oh, it's so hot out. The extenders for the rear adjustment for the coilovers. So it's an Allen key that just goes on top of it. It extends up, makes it a lot easier. You can kind of put it to the side wherever you want it. So I'll probably get mine down here, keep them out of the way so they're not sticking up like little antennas and bouncing around and hitting the glass. But that's it. Ready to go cruising tonight.
Full bolt on. And it's dirty.
Sounds like a burnout. From a Grand National.
Not full bolt.
What? Cressy.
You can bait him with that one.
Oscar's Fox. Mike's LS swapped IS300. Back in the garage. Went cruising last night and had some fun with the guys. One little issue. Let me pop the hood. I'll show you what happened. All right, so problem I had, I was actually was doing pretty good. Turned up the boost, got up to about 25 pounds. Car was hauling, and then at one point, it was only making about 12 pounds, and I'm sure you can see what happened there. The intercooler pipe popped off just enough to let it start leaking, but still pushing 12 pounds. All I gotta do is loosen this up, throw that back in there, and I should be good to go. I'll make sure I tighten it down extra. And gonna take the car back out, gotta run to Publix, do some grocery shopping, and do some testing with it. So the install was pretty straightforward. Everything went as planned. Hope this kind of showed what's involved. It's pretty easy, straightforward. If you have any car knowledge, it's something you can easily handle. So happy with the way it turned out. Next step, full E85 and turn up the boost.
Filming.
What is it, John?
YouTube, comment, like this video if you like it. Watch some more if you don't like it. Doing a little more